is bring to the parole desk Mr. Jerry Farber.
Thank you.
How are you
Thank
doing,
you
Jerry?
all. I'm fine, Dan. You're lucky. If that's all you've been called is Daily Dan and Dan, you're pretty lucky.
That's right. I've been called worse.
I've been called worse.
Jerry, just want to tell you, I bumped into a guy that saw your show recently, and he's followed you throughout the years, and he says, every time I see Jerry Farber perform, he makes me feel 20 years younger. And I said, well, that's nice. Why do you say that? He goes, because he says the same jokes from 20 years ago.
That's great. That's great, Dan.
I just made that up.
I know.
Leave the joke to the professionals.
I usually steal a good line, but that one's yours. You're married to it.
That's right.
It's never too late or too soon to wish everybody a happy holiday.
That's right.
Good health.
Yeah.
More than anything, as I've aged so much, that good health is the best.
Yeah.
And I just had surgery. I just had a charisma transplant, as you know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They took out my charisma and they put, and it wasn't painful. I had it at Duke University.
Yeah.
And so now I have brand new charisma. I feel terrific.
Very good.
Dan, I'm just amazed. You know what the blessing is?
Yes, no.
That you've maintained this show.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
And it's incredible. No, it's great. You're doing terrific with it.
Well, what we're doing, we want to pay honor and homage. We want to honor someone who's very accomplished and happens to be related to Jerry Farber. His name's Barry Farber. Tell us a little. Barry Farber is Jerry's older brother. He was just inducted to the Radio Hall of Fame.
Right.
And we're going to call him in a few minutes. But tell us a little about your brother.
Well, I met him when I was a baby, you know. The same mother and father, grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he was already 8 years older. So, you know, when I was 5, he was 13, already had his crowd. But I always loved him, but he was a high school and collegiate wrestler.
Right.
And though he speaks 30 languages, to me, as this high school wrestler, they called him Spider. Because he was tall, skinny, but my earliest memories of my brother, which he'll tell, were using those things to develop here.
Right.
And I don't think he ever lost a match in high school. So he was always the bigger brother who was a wrestler. Then, of course, he had this career in radio, which I'm very proud of.
He's extremely accomplished. He knows 21 different languages. Look him up on Wikipedia, Barry Farber. It's very impressive. And he's been on radio for years. He's had a television show. And this is what I was impressed with. I'm going to show you a couple of clips of him. Oh, no, first let's take it to this first clip. This is where Barry Farber was on To Tell the Truth. Some of you younger crowd may not remember To Tell the Truth, but us older people do. Put on this clip of To Tell the Truth.
This was in the 50s.
One New Mexico policeman described in detail a brilliant white egg-shaped object which roared away as he approached. A state police captain says he found the ground still smoldering several hours later. While many of the hundreds of sightings each year can be explained as the result of natural phenomena, others so far seem to be without a logical explanation. Signed, J. Allen Hynek. These three gentlemen all claim to be Dr. J. Allen Hynek, astronomer and Air Force consultant on UFOs, or unidentified flying objects. Let's start this questioning with Tom Poston, if we may, Tom.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Bud. I'll ask number 3 if there's been any photographic evidence of UFO.
There's been a lot of photographic evidence, but none that we can definitely pinpoint and say this is extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial? Terrestrial?
From someplace other than the planet Earth.
Thank you. Number 2, has there been any real tactile evidence? Has anybody been...
Now, if you're impressed with that, you'll be impressed with this. Barry was working at the radio station, and the Beatles actually called him up to sing him Waltzing Matilda. I hope this comes across well. I meant to email it.
Hello, Barry Farber. Talk about saying all these people. This is the Beatles speaking.
I was just very impressed with it.
Let me explain that, may I?
Yes.
When the Beatles first came to America, they thought Barry was a disc jockey. He was a highly rated radio guy. So they did this for other radio people, thinking Barry was going to spin the records.
Yeah.
Barry's still not sure who the Beatles are. Because he said of all the noise people make, music's the most pleasant. That's his favorite quote.
That's
of all
funny.
the noise that we make, music is the
That's hilarious.
But his daughters loved it. His daughters,
It seems just like yesterday they were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
I know. That's when that happened, when that thing was done.
Now, there's one more clip. I want to show you the importance of this man and his background. Take it to the Diamond in the Rough, just briefly. I'm sorry, Barry Farber, with Barry Farber, the Diamond in the Rough.
Hi, I'm Barry Farber, and this is Diamonds in the Rough, a show where you'll meet ordinary people who've achieved extraordinary success, people of inspiring stories, and people of an overwhelming passion for life. My guest tonight has been a leading broadcast journalist for over 30 years. In 1956, he was the first freelance journalist to enter the Soviet Union, and in 1977 ran for mayor of New York. He has a syndicated radio show and speaks over a dozen languages. Talk radio host Barry Farber joins me to talk about life and achieving success. We'll be right back. Diamonds in the Rough is brought to you by Custom Cleaner, home dry cleaning kit.
Okay, I just wanted to give you an idea of his background and his importance and celebrity. Right now, I'm going to attempt to call Barry Farber.
Hello?
Barry, this is Dan Glazer with Comics on Parole with your younger brother, Jerry. How are you?
I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, hey, how are you? Okay, here I am.
It's a big honor to have you on the show. And here, I'm going to have Jerry say hi to you.
Brother,
Hey, Dan.
Brother, I'm fine. I'm on the show with Dan Glazer that I told you about last night, and he wanted to ask you a few questions. First of all,
I'll be sitting here. I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing, and I'm waiting.
Well, we're going to send you the show tomorrow after it's finished, when it's posted. But what was it like? Were you kind of like almost a father to Jerry?
Well, a very interesting question. Our spread was 8 years, so I was not, 2 years apart. A jealous older sibling who really didn't know what was what. I felt like Jerry's uncle.
Yeah.
I was like part of the parenting team.
That's right.
And I loved him. I had no problem with Jerry's arrival whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I haven't had one since.
And it's why he's the fine man he is today. Now,
Well, that may be part of it. I don't know, but it may be one reason why I love him so much. I never had a problem with him when he arrived.
Now, we want to congratulate you because you were just recently inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. And tell us,
Thank you.
that had to be a big thrill.
Well, yeah, it's, the objective of baseball is to make a run. The objective of hockey is to make a goal. The objective of football is to make a touchdown. And the objective in my business, your business, is to make a Hall of Fame or some kind of recognition like that. It's nice, but it's like perfume, it's to be inhaled but not swallowed.
Right. Very, very good.